Hey, everybody! This is this is the Network Marketing Insider. This is number 229. This is a negotiation Newopday, and this is the 20-something day, the 29th day, the leap year day of 2016. It's going to be 4 years till you see this day again. So if you got anything that you don't like to do very often, schedule it annually for this day. Now you only have to do it once every 4 years. And one thing that you should probably not schedule would be to, for this day, would be to present the 45-second presentation to someone, because you should actually be asking someone each and every day this question. Hey, did you know that after you take out all the time that you spend sleeping and all the time that you spend commuting and all the time that you spend working at your job and all the time that you spend running around doing all those things that you got to do that life demands that get done each and every day, that at the end of it all, you probably have but 1, maybe 2 hours a day for yourself? Actually, yeah, to do the things that you like to do. And even if you had more time, would you have the money? Well, we have found a way for you to own your life by starting a home-based business that is so simple that anybody can do it. It doesn't involve any selling, and the best part is, it doesn't take very much of your time. You wouldn't happen to know anybody that would be interested in anything like that, would you? Tell you what, I screwed that whole thing up. As in the middle of I was saying that, I realized the exact thing that this chapter 7 that we're going into next, I was actually doing, and I totally screwed that up. That is not the 45-second presentation. The 45-second presentation goes, did you know that when you subtract out the sleeping time and the commuting time and the working time and the time that you spend, that people spend running around doing all the things that they have to do each and every day in their lives, that almost all people don't have more than 1 or 2 hours each day to do what they like to do? And even if they had more time, would they have the money to do it? Do you see the difference there? And this is what chapter 7 is all about, the third-party invitation. On the first one, I was challenging that person. I said, did you know that after you take out all the time that you spend doing all those things, that you probably have but 1 or 2 hours? See, I'm putting them on the spot. I'm making them feel bad. I'm challenging their entire lifestyle. And that's not what you want to do. See, all you want to do is be informative. This is just a piece of information. These are some facts that you have figured out, and they don't necessarily pertain to this person that you're speaking to, because people like to disagree with you. And so if you challenge this upon them, they're going to be like, oh, no, that's not me. I have plenty of time to do all the things that I like to do. That's why the third-party invitation is such a powerful thing. That when you present that information as just information, as facts, as this is what everybody else is like. This is not you and me. This is what everybody else's life is like, right? Then they can accept the information. But as soon as you challenge it upon them and say, that after you take out all the time that you spend doing this stuff and you do this and that you only have, you've presented a challenge to them, and they're going to stand up to that challenge and defend themselves. So very, very important that in the way that you present even the 45-second presentation, that you do it in a third-party invitational style. And then finishing it off, I have changed one thing that Don puts in to his 45-second presentation, where he says, if you're interested, I'll get you some information. Here again, third-party invitation, going back to, you wouldn't happen to know anybody who might be interested in something like this, would you? thereby taking the pressure off of them. Because as soon as you ask, oh, if you're interested, if you say, if you're interested, I'll get you some more information. First thing they're going to want to do is be like, oh, well, I don't need to make any extra money. I don't need to start a home-based business. I don't need to do any of that. No, that's okay. I'm good. Thanks. And you missed them. But if you challenge them by a third-party invitation saying you wouldn't have to know anybody who would be interested in anything like that, now their mind's thinking, hey, wait a second. Why not me? Why wouldn't I be interested in something like that? Why aren't you asking me about this? You see how that works? There's a twisted psychology in this being of ours that wants to be argumentative and competitive and challenging to everything that we see and hear. And so, because our way is the right way, that's what we want to think, is that, the way that we know, that's the right way. So you have to try to phrase things in a way that gets this crazy twisted mind matter thinking, hey, wait a second, yeah, I got an idea. Yeah, that's my idea. Me, I'm interested in that. You see where I'm going with this? So anyway, this here is, like I said, the Network Marketing Insider number 222. I am Paul Romero, hanging out from Phoenix, Arizona, right here in the War Room, and I have my my upline, master network marketer John Leister on the other, hanging out here with us here today. And we want to know where you guys are hanging out. So let us know, type it in. Let us know where you're hanging out from. We always like to see who's interested in network marketing insider information. And John, where are you hanging from?
I am hanging from actually chilly Phoenix, Arizona. What you can't see is that I'm actually bundled up under a blanket here, which is kind of weird. Woke up, it's freezing in my house this morning, and we're in Phoenix and at the end of February. It's weird. But that's where I'm hanging out from. Welcome to the Own Your Life Plan Hangout Mondays. I was on the Hangout when you started, Paul. Then I had to run out of the room real quick to take care of some quick business and then run back in. I really need to get up a little bit, I think, more than 15 minutes before these Hangouts start and get myself a little bit better prepared. But Paul's talking about, from what I caught walking back in the room, you're right on track with where we're going with the Own Your Life Plan book in Chapter 7. And that's all about the third-party invitation, napkin presentation number 6. And this chapter is all about kind of getting started, how to break the ice and how to do a little bit of prospecting and do it in a way that's really quite simple, honestly. And this entire book is simple for a reason. It's designed to get you, who has never built a network marketing organization. Maybe you're someone who's never even been in sales or any sort of thing like that. But that's actually a good thing, because if you're coachable and you're a clean slate and you don't have preconceived notions, you're like the perfect prospect to me, is someone that is good with people, that hasn't been involved in network marketing. So you kind of mold you the proper way from the start. But Paul kind of presented the 30-second presentation there, the whole question about the time, and if you had the time, would you have the money? And we have a business system, so simple anyone can do it. And wrapping that presentation up with the question, you wouldn't happen to know anybody that would be interested in that, would you? The third-party invitation. So powerful, because people are thinking the entire time, well, yeah, I would know someone that someone might be me. Why aren't you asking me? There's a psychological reason, and it's really, in my opinion, it works psychologically both ways. Number one, it's kind of a less pressureful way to ask somebody else, and that whole psychology I just went into to kind of flip the script on them and getting them going, yeah, I know someone, that someone is me. But also, especially for someone that's new in this business, for whatever reason, it's easier to ask the question directly to somebody when you're not really directly asking the person the question. Paul kind of went into the explanation there. I don't know if there's anything else he wanted to kind of add in on that before getting to the part of the chapter that's entitled Try It Out Yourself, which is basically a simple way to introduce network marketing to a complete stranger. Anything you want to throw in at this point?
Just that what you said there was really powerful for people, in the fact that, yes, the psychological power of asking the third party question, or sometimes also known as the double negative question, is, or the negative, the reverse negative question or whatever, works both ways. It works both sides of the fence. It definitely gives you, as a new person, a freedom in your own mind to be able to ask that question, because it sort of cloaks the fear of presenting to somebody by not presenting to somebody, if that makes any sense. Like John just said, you're not asking this person for their interest in your stuff. You're asking this person if they know somebody who might have interest in your stuff. So that's a whole lot easier coming out of your own being, to be able to wrap your head around that concept and to be able to actually ask that question, because that is the big hang up. We all come from a place, well, not everybody, but 99%, 98%, 95%, whatever it is, a huge portion of people come from a place where negativity is been forced into our lives in the area of sales throughout our entire life. And we don't want to have anything, because of this, all these things that we've seen and heard in our whole, throughout our lives, we don't want to be salesmen. It's a subconscious thing. And, how many times have you had a salesman come up and ask you, "Oh, can I help you find something?" And what is your first response? "No, thanks. I'm just looking." Right? You don't want any part of that salesman. You don't want this guy hanging around you. You don't want to have anything to do with him. And anytime you have some, and why do people not go to seminars? Because they know that person on stage is really just there to tell them a story and try to sell them something. So they don't want to go to these seminars, even though within the story, within all the things that they're talking about, there's so much knowledge and information and tidbits of gold nuggets that can help you change your thinking. But because of the fact that we know that at the end of the show, they want to sell us something, that's just a bunch of hooey. I'm not going to go to that shit, because I'm not going to, these guys just want to sell me something. They'll tell me anything to sell me something, right? Well, they're telling you the truth. But the whole thing is, we have this aversion to that. So for us to actually get into network marketing and have the whole idea now, obviously with the network marketing format, we're not talking about actually selling, but you still have to interact with other people, and you still have to work the system in a way that builds their interest in what you have, because ultimately you do have to get them on board with wanting to come and join your organization. So like I said, it's not done in a method of actual, what we know as sales. And this is a big, big part of it right here, in the fact that you aren't actually, having to try to sell this person on your product by saying, "Hey, what about you? Would you be interested in this?" You don't have to ask that question. You're just asking them, "Hey, maybe you could help me out, and maybe you know somebody who might be interested." That's it. They're just helping you out. And then the whole reverse psychology takes place in their minds about, well, why not me? So I just wanted to throw that in. That's super, super powerful.
Absolutely. And Don goes in next here in the book to go ahead and say, to try this out for yourself and do a little experiment with this. The next 10 people that you meet or you run into, it could be a gas station attendant, a grocer, barber, cleaner, a mailman, etc., an office coworker, whoever, and ask them if they know anybody that would like to earn some extra money, some extra income. Excuse me. Do this just to get their reaction, and their, Don says here, their response should tell you something. Because most of the time, what Don's predicting here, and again, what we should do this experiment for ourselves. try it over the next week between now and the hangout next Monday. Just simply ask 10 people you come into contact with if they know anybody that would like to earn some extra income. And Don says right here in the book, most of the time their response will probably be, okay, what, something along the lines of what is it? And the reason they say what is it is because they know who would like to earn some extra income. It's themselves. And they just want to know a little bit more about it so they can make a decision. So when they ask, Don even suggests right here in the book, and when they ask, what is it? Don't play mysterious. Some people are offended by getting dragged off into someone else's home for an hour-and-a-half presentation when they have no idea why they're going there. I love this approach. I love the network marketing business model, but I really dislike, and this is personal, this isn't from Don's book. I personally dislike the ones that, hide the name of the network marketing company they're with, or try to invite you to some event under a false pretense, and then you go there and it's a network marketing pitch for a company. And I don't mind being pitched on network marketing or going to an hour-and-a-half presentation, because as Paul said, a lot of these presentations for network marketing organizations, just like these weekend seminars, at the end of the hour and a half, they're going to pitch you and try to get you to sign up into their organization. But there's always gold nuggets of little wisdom and little tidbits that are sprinkled into a good presentation that whether you choose to move forward with that organization or not, there's going to be some gold nuggets of information there. But that's really not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is I like the approach of that he's suggesting you go. And you go out there, and when the person asks you, okay, I'd like to make some extra money. Anybody would. What kind of question is that? What is it? How do I earn this extra income? He's basically saying just don't be mysterious and reply with, well, do you know anything about network marketing? And they'll either say yes or no. And if they say yes, that's great. That's your introduction to get into a general discussion with them about network marketing, referring to chapter 1 of the book, which is the introduction to network marketing chapter, which is all about what it is, what it isn't, the kind of sales that it generates, and the differences between the 5 different types, what network marketing compared to wholesale, compared to retail sales, compared to direct sales organizations, internet sales, so forth and so on. And you're not going to get them into the whole story right then and there, especially if they're an attendant at a gas station or somebody that's like ringing you up at the supermarket on the way out the door. But you can get the ball rolling, and you tell them not enough to say yes, but not enough to say no either. Just a general discussion to get them kind of interested, and that will set you up for the invite to maybe read the 4 chapters, and you can share the link ownyourlifeplan.com so they can go and read the 4 chapters for themselves, or you can get their number to follow up at a future date. So I love that approach. It's really simple. You're not hiding the fact of it's network marketing. You're not going to get into a whole deep discussion and try to sell them on it right then and there. Just a general talk so that you can start going out in a simple, in your face sort of a approach and start talking about network marketing with people.
The next part he starts talking about how to avoid prospecting, and is basically, he talks about that piece that I jumped in with, I guess, a little early, sort of about the fear of rejection, and worried about the people saying no. I like how he relates it to the high school dance and the guy who goes across the room, after standing there being the wallflower for the first 14 songs, and there's only 3 left of the night, and he gets his courage up to go across the room and finally asks the girl to dance, and she says no. And so he schleps back over to the corner of the gym there and stands there against the wall and never goes to another dance and never asks another girl to dance because he got rejected. Versus the other guy who starts out right at the very beginning, and he walks up to, at the beginning of every dance, he walks up to a girl and asks to dance, and she says no. And so he just Okay, moves right on to the next girl, and right on to the next girl, right on to the next girl. And finally, somebody was going to say yes, and he's out there dancing. So that's kind of where this, where he's talking about here, as far as, you have to launch some ships, referring back to the previous chapter of the gold ships and the MT ships, because, if you don't launch some ships in the first place, what good is having your ship come in? I mean, if you only launch one ship and it comes back an empty ship, what good was that, right? So you have to launch a lot of ships. You have to go out there. That's why he says, go. That's why he's talking about this question here of, you wouldn't happen to know anybody who would like to earn some extra money, right? That's launching a ship right there. Boom. You just launched a ship. Whether the person says yes or no, like John was just talking about, whether they say yes or no, you've got the perfect comeback for either one. With a yes, you're just like, oh, great. And they're either going to ask, and they're always going to ask, what is it? Obviously, like he said. And then, I'm sorry, I kind of screwed that up there. They're always going to ask, what is it? Like John just said, and you're going to be straight up. Well, do you know anything about network marketing? You're not telling them it's network marketing. You're asking them a question. This is very important. You're not just saying, oh, well, it's network marketing. Because as soon as you do that, people are going to be like, oh, yeah, whatever. But if you ask them, do you know anything about network marketing? Here again, you're challenging this gray matter up here. Now the mind up here is not thinking, oh, I know about network marketing. That shit's bullshit. Forget all that. I ain't doing that. Now the mind is thinking, now the mind just got challenged and it's going, well, I don't know. Do I know everything about network marketing? I don't know. I tried it once and it failed. I know that, but it doesn't just hit that no answer. It doesn't shut down with the, oh yeah, I know about that. Forget that kind of an attitude. So the way that you ask these questions is really what's super important about this. So God, we're already at 8:22, John. I didn't even realize that.
I know that this is a short chapter, but a pretty important one. And, I just want to throw in a comment there about this whole section you were talking about, how to avoid prospecting. And this is an important chapter, I think, for people that are new to sales, people that are new to network marketing, people that are this is a new thing for you. This chapter is really important because it's kind of giving you some mental tricks to get over the fear of rejection here by asking the question with a third-party invitation, by simply entering into a conversation about what chapter 1 is in network marketing. And I want to point out something so important here, because I don't know if newer people that haven't had the kind of training that Paul and I have found are picking out the most important element of what's going on here. And that is, we're asking these people questions. We're not telling them it's network marketing. We're asking them if they know anything about network marketing. And Paul pointed out, why would we do that? Because questions, let's go back to T. Harv Eker. What do questions do? They hook the mind. It's not a statement. I'm not making a statement to you that can elicit no response. I'm asking you a question to elicit some sort of a response. And that's how a conversation gets started, with a question. And that's something so kind of critical in sales and in dealing with people, is that you ask questions, you ask the right questions, and the questions you're asking are leading them to the answer you want, which is, yes, I want to join your network marketing organization. We're not going to get into how exactly that's done today, but basically I think we laid some good foundation here about what the concept of this chapter is. And really, it's the third-party invitation to help you get over the fear of rejection. Because if they say no, I don't know anybody who'd be interested in that. They didn't reject your network marketing organization. They didn't reject you. They just simply said, no, I don't know anybody that would want to earn extra money. You don't need to feel rejected. And that's the whole point of this, is that it's an overcome the fear of rejection. We won't want to be able to trick your mind so you will be able to talk to more people. And to do that, as Paul said, you picture yourself standing at a dock and sending ships out to sea, and just ask the question, send the ships out there. And it's a lot easier. There's no fear involved. It's very simple, very passive way of approaching the business. And I'll turn it over to Paul to close us out here.
I don't know. I think this is a pretty powerful chapter. And even though it is a very short one, we've only got a page and a half left. I think it's worthy of going over a second time next Newopday and finishing out the rest of the concepts within this chapter, even though we've gotten in pretty deeply. So with that, everybody, oh universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom, with which to do make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my mind to whatever end I might desire. And that was just a frozen lip move there. So anyway, we'll see you back here on Wisdom Wednesday, Website Wednesday. Hopefully Googleicious will be playing ball with us on Wednesday, and we'll actually look at some Swiss Gold Global website information here, which we talked about trying to do last week. All right, everybody. Adios.